Lagos State AAC State Chairman Ayoyinka Oni with us today to discuss issues around governance, nation building, and 2023 election. Welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
It's over 130 days since ASU have been on strike. Up to this moment, no agreement has been reached with the government. Government are saying the same thing, no money, that ASU's demand are unrealistic, that they're not sympathetic of the financial state of government as a whole. You think about the whole issue. Is ASU's demand ambiguous, complex, or too difficult? Or how do you see the whole issues?
No, thank you very much. The truth is, and I always like to start with the truth, this present government cannot solve the problem of ASU. Students should know that, ASU should know that. Having said that, they cannot solve the problem because this problem in their own regime has been on for 8 years now. It will be 8 years by February next year. So if they had any interest in solving it, if they had wanted to solve it, they would have done something in the past 8 years. But despite the fact that they have a Minister of Education, they have a Minister of Labour and all that, they have not been able to solve the problem. The demands of ASU are not ambiguous. The problem is that over the years, the government that we have run in this country have abandoned education. How can a government refuse to fund its own education system? That's what they have done for years. And yes, it did not start with this government. But when you come in as a government, I remember a tweet by Bashir Ahmed, one of the press, the media guy, men of Buhari, saying in the second term that this second term of Buhari will be education, education, education. But what have they done? Nothing. Nothing. So if they have given me some demands of ASU, if they have done some of these demands, which include funding the education system, making sure these people are well paid, infrastructures in the school, technology in the school, all these demands are simple and they are clear. And this is what regular government, wise government do for their people. But we have a government that are not interested in funding education. They are not interested. The budget of education, I think the last one will be 5% or 3%. It is terrible. The international budget that people that have studied what education is all about gives to countries to follow is around 25%. But that is not the case in Nigeria. You can imagine as low as 3%, 5%. So for us, the advice of ASU is they should keep on the fight. The reason is this. There's no point, because we were also students at one time and we had our share of ASU strike. There's no point in going on strike after 6 months and you come back to meet the same problem. It is just beautiful insanity, doing the same thing and not getting any results. If the federal government is not serious, they are not ready for their public education to work, they want the disgrace to continue, they should keep at it until we have a government that is ready to solve the problem. So whoever government that we get in 2023, when it comes into power and it meets a student that are at home, it meets ASU that is on strike, nobody will tell him not to start solving the problem of education, to start from there. That is it. But if they are expecting any miracle from Buhari's government, from the Minister of Labour, Igige, and the rest, from the Minister of Education that his children are schooling abroad, basically we are just deceiving ourselves. So ASU is right, and the students should also join them to make this demand stronger. Because if as of now, our public education system is terrible from secondary to university, what is going to be the fate of the country in another 8 years? Thank you.
And so, a follow-up question to that. Some of the view now that there are some opinions making the round in the media that the students should sue ASU for keeping them at home for 6 months. No, now the government is trying to shift the blame on ASU, not accepting responsibility for keeping the students and the lecturers out of class for 6 months. What do you make of that statement? Is it a just cause?
It's shameful, actually. It's shameful because ASU academic staff union don't control the resources of this country. They don't. They are employed by the government to educate the students. They don't control the resources. How can you tell people that are trying to fight for education that they should be sued? For what? It's the federal government that should be sued. It's the federal government shall be sued for wasting the times of these students. During COVID-19, students were at home. The only universities that were able to continue their academic calendar were private universities, because they have already supplied their students with laptops and the notepad and the rest. But public university, no. Because our education is not moved by technology, it's not moved by the new vision that is driving the society, because the government just fold their hand and do nothing. So anybody that says that kind of statement is just fallacy. Whereas the students should come together, get a good lawyer, and all the students in this country should sue the federal government. They should sue the federal government to court for keeping them at home. Because if education is properly funded, is it of the interest of ASU to be at home? There's no joy in it. There's nothing palatable about it. There was a video, a picture of a doctor frying akara somewhere or something. It's funny because they have to resort to something. Some of them have come back to the farm. So how will you say they should sue these people? In fact, the students should know that the only union standing between proper education and worthless education in this country is ASU. The NAS is a disgrace. That's the union of the students. They are a disgrace because the NAS of those days stood for anti-student policy. When the SAP, when they wanted to, close down a lot of public universities in this country and sell it out and left with just 3 or 4, it was students like Omo Ore and the rest that stood against it. What we are enjoying today. So I tell students, the reason why you could go to a public university is because of you stood against it. But you are there, you don't want to fight for anything for the generation to come. If not, I will not be able to go to school. My parents definitely cannot afford private university. And all of us will be at home. So saying they should sue ASU is just a fallacy. ASU should sue the federal government, students should sue the federal government. They must fund education. You fund education. Why do we have corruption in the society? Why do we have poverty? Why do we have insecurity? It's lack of proper education. That is the reason. Boko Haram there, if you are educated those bandits, educated those children from primary school level to tertiary level, or those that decide not to go tertiary, there's a proper vocational scheme for them. They will not be carrying gun and killing people and hunting. In Lagos alone, there are millions of youths on the road, not going to school. So is it ASU that has the resources? Is it ASU that will do it? Is it me that will do it? You cannot hand over your education system to private sector and expect any beautiful results. Private sector is for commercial purpose, it's for benefit, while the government is for the citizens. So it is the fallacy and it should not be said anywhere. We encourage the students, sue the federal government for keeping you at home.
Not the other way.
No, not the other way around. It is fallacy.
Okay, let's move ahead now. Let's talk about the level of preparation of African National Congress as the campaign officially kickstarts next month.
Yes.
Yeah, particularly in Lagos State here. So what is the level of awareness and what plans have you mapped out towards engaging the electorate across the senatorial zone, the local government, the wards, and also across the streets of Lagos?
Thank you. We always say something in African National Congress that African National Congress alone cannot solve the problem of Nigeria. Do we have the blueprint? Do we have the will? Do we have the vision? Are we ready? Are we ready to make all the sacrifices to do? Sure. But can we solve the problem of Nigeria alone? That is a lie. No party should say that. Nigerians need to come together, support revolutionary parties, liberation parties like ours, and any few that are available to solve the problem of their country. And our plan and our blueprint is as simple as that. We are taking the campaign, we are taking the mobilization to the people. Because yes, we are not going to tell you we have all the funds. Obviously, we have not stolen anything from the national cake, and we are refused to be a political a elite or a political second hand of one of those big parties, like some parties are doing, you know. So when you are a political second hand or you are their second leg, you know, they put funds there for you to do some things. We are not connected to any ruling elite. We are not connected to any cabal. The people owns the party. So what are we going to do? We are taking the campaign back to the people. We will move on the streets, we will paste our posters, we will preach it everywhere that it is time for liberation. We are not going to deceive Nigerians, and we need to state it clearly that AAC does not share money. You can never.
No shishi.
No shishi. And it is not, we are not just saying it like a statement. You can confirm. In fact, any of our candidates that try it, we disown the candidates. As a candidate, you are representing the party, not just yourself. You are the one we are taking to go and represent the party. If you go against the policy and the constitution of the party, we disown the candidates. It's not just about winning the election, it's how you win the election. Because you cannot win the election on lies and corruption and think you will go there and you will not maintain that position with lies and corruption. So it's not about how to win. So we are going to the street, taking it to the people, to the children, to the market women, to the youth. Tell them anything has come, liberation has come. This is the time for you to take charge of your society. And definitely, yes, we use the media as, you know, as much as we can. So it is a liberation campaign. If I tell people that African National Congress cannot win an election in Nigeria unless there's a revolution. And revolution starts from the mind. From the mind. Revolution is not about just carrying placards alone or eating the streets or the violence revolution that they have in some countries. It starts from the mind, where people decide that we are tired. Where people say we are not collecting bag of rice anymore. We have been collecting for the past 20 years. When people decide that I've not voted for 20 years, it is my time now, I must vote. When people say that you are not giving me 500 naira, there was a video of it. Yes, no, nothing. Keep your money. It's a revolution. That is how easy we win. Because we are not going to share any money. We are not going to entice people with any of that. We are going to entice them with ideas. And that's what we are telling the people, that we are bringing the government to you. That is our blueprint. You know, that is our method.
We are returning power
to the people. Yes, that is it. That is how to build a society. What has happened for the past years is that these people take power, and when they take power, before they take power, they come to the people, they do campaign, they hold their sign, whether broom or whatever, and they share whatever they want to share. Immediately after the campaign, they leave the people. You are on your own. You have collected your 10,000, you have collected your own 4 years dividends of democracy. So divide that 10,000 by 365 days in a year and times 4. You know, you have wasted your life, maybe 0.5 naira. That's how people have sold their generation, sold their life. So they abandon the people and they take the resources and they give it to the ruling elites. They run the business. It's for them. They don't care. They do the road anytime they like. They do the schools anytime they like. Maybe when we protest and we paste classrooms on Facebook, that's when the government will remember that the classrooms are bad and they are leaking. It is terrible. But when you want to work for the people, when you get power, you take that power. Because the power belongs to the people. So you take that power back to the people to build a society.
Absolutely. So in follow-up to this, let's Lagos State in view now. What programs does AAC have for Lagos residents?
Thank you. In fact, we did not start programs for citizens in Lagos until the time of the election. No, we don't wait until the election before we act. The African National Congress for the past 4 years has been hitting the streets with different programs for the people. And one program we always put in mind is a program of education. The truth of the matter is Nigerians are not well educated. Education is not just about the classroom or your number of degrees. It's about political education. People to understand what politics is, what their power is, what they can do, the rights they have. Many citizens don't even know that they can recall, politicians from position. They don't know. And it's what they can do. So we have been on political education. Education of understanding the masses, understanding their area, understanding their consequences, understanding the strength that they have in their locality. We have also been on the education of police brutalities. We have rescued people a lot in so much cases in this country. So, and that is what we will continue with. And this time around, we're not going to divide it into dimensions, using the candidates as a leverage. All our candidates across the House of Assembly in the localities, you know, where they already represent, we have different programs. Now, we have told many of our candidates, your locality has its uniqueness. If you think it's education that they need in this place, give it to them. AC will do it. If you think it's liberation that they need, give it to them. AC will do it. It's electrical issues, whatever issues. So every issues that are related to the people, we will do for the people. One thing that ANC will not do is to sit people down and start giving them money. There was a post, and one of the children of a politician posted, and he later took it down. He wrote, money in inducement. It's sad. Because you want to go and work for the people. Why are you giving them money? For what? Why are you giving them money? If anybody wants to give people money, it should be philanthropists that are not contested, that just feel like giving money. There's no problem about that. You are going to work for people, so you are going to give 50,000. Multiply 50,000 by 500 people. Are you going to tell me that person will give that money, will not go and steal when they get there? So we know if we want to do welfare, everything, we do it for our members that are in our party. So as a party, that's fine. Oh, our members have been working for us for some time. Oh, let's do something for you. But we will not sit down and do that. But the programs, education, town hall meetings, press conferences, and even protests. Protest is not just about standing against injustice. I was telling somebody, if and when Omo Eleshoore becomes the president of Nigeria come 2023, we are going to welcome him that office with a protest. I, as the chairman of Lagos, will mobilize the entire local government chairman and the world chairman, our members, to Abuja or to Lagos. I will say we are welcoming you with this massive protest, to let the people in power know that the people are ready for you if you decide not to work for them. Awesome. So we are going to have massive protests also, one of our plans, to bring people together. Yes. To office. Yes. Okay. So that's even going on our campaign strategies, to bring people together, to mobilize people together. It's not necessarily you want to go and stand against something that you must protest. And the government should get used to people standing up for themselves. It has been terrible in the last 4 years, where the government has been clamping down on such, activities. We are going to tell people you have the right to protest. 5 years or 7 years old children should be able to walk on the street and protest, and we're sure that they are going to be safe. That's when we have a just society. So all these programs are more are the things we have laid down, and we are going to add more, to liberate our people. The universities, we are going to go there, the primary schools, secondary schools, because you think a primary school child cannot vote, but when you educate him, he's going to also educate his parents, and he has siblings, and in future, he'll be able to stand for the right thing. The secondary students you think cannot vote, when you educate them, you are preparing them for the future, and they will go ahead and educate their parents. So we are going to universities, to the secondary schools, primary schools, massive education, and we must say it, that massive education is our first priority in this campaign. There's no magic about it. That is what our first priority. Every other thing will come after.
Okay. So let me ask you again. Yeah, still in Lagos also. We are aware that the Lagos state government said by September 1, 6 other local government will be added to the existing areas where Okada have been banned. So your assessment of the old ban, is it a step in the right direction? Is it, according to the government, he said the current accidents on the road, is unbearable, that within this the first phase of a ban, that the number of accidents has reduced to an extent. And also, they postulated that it will stem the increasing rate of robbery, extortion of Lagos residents. What is your take about the old ban? Are you in support of it? And what alternative will AAC provide in place of a ban if you are not in support of it?
Okay. I want to ask a question. It's like a rhetorical question anyway, but the answer is obvious. Between the bike riders and thugs in this Lagos, who is more of the public nuisance in Lagos? If you ask an average Lagosian, bike riders and thugs in Lagos, Agbiru, that are in all the local governments.
Womida.
And all that. Who is more of a public nuisance? It's the talks. Now, a government that cannot control these talks, cannot ban them, cannot remove them, don't even control the revenue that they are getting. Because the government can continue to pretend to us that they are in control of all those money. Once you see people extending money on the road in a civilized democracy, you should know that it is beautiful insanity going on. Nobody extend money on the road in civilized countries. Now this corruption is going on. They can't do that to those people, but they can easily ban the bike men. Now, on the basis of security and accidents, fatal accidents. But this is the truth. There is no statistics that since bike has been banned, the percentage of accidents have reduced. Accidents is not just bike, I used to tell people, now, I use myself as a case study. I take a minimum of 5 bikes every day. I've never had accidents. But I've taken buses that have had accidents. So accidents, bikes have accidents, buses have accidents, cars have accidents. Everybody can have accidents. So the issue is not about accidents. The issue is the fact that the government don't care about the downtrodden. And the government is also interested in their own money-making venture. Go-karters that people were enjoying in Lagos for some time was banned. For what? Because they wanted the BRTs and co and this their own ride or whatever to work and to make money. Is their own business. That is why. What was the purpose of banning those people when bikes are still working? The problem is the government refuses to sit with the citizen and say, okay, you people are bike riders. How can we reach a compromise to reduce security issues and accidents among you people? Okay, we get helmets for you. Okay, we restrict you to some areas. We reduce from going to the express, and we give you name tags. They are not ready to do that. It is hard work. They don't want to do that. Why would they not be biking Lagos? Because there's traffic, and people want to get to where they are going on time. The roads are not motorable. The road that was done in Ejigbo did not last for 3 months. I'm telling you, 3 months road. Why they were constructing that road? I kept on passing every day, and I was saying in my mind, this thing is substantial material. It's aboki and wheelbarrow and block that they are just arranging. This thing will not last 3 months. The roads are bad. So you want citizens to continue somewhere, whereas you have your big jeeps that you use and you don't even really live in some of those areas. That is why. So if you naturally make the roads better, naturally make the road more motorable, do more internal road. One of the biggest problems Lagos have is that within the local governments, the roads are terrible. Should not be so. In 21st century, with the 50 billion monthly that this Lagos state is generating, so all our local government roads should not have been perfect by now. If the local government roads were working, one advantage of Lagos is right in the mainland, there are alternative routes apart from the express. But who is going to take his car to all those places? So that is why bike is there. And you as the government, when you know that you don't have the solution to the road yet, and you think there's insecurity problem, how do you handle it? I think the best way to handle it is to probably sit down with these people. They are an association. They are doing legit business. Some of them are graduates. Some of them are family men. I speak to them. It's not all of them that are bookie. And tag them. I should be able to get to Isolo and see the name of the person carrying me. And the bike one should have his helmet. Should give me my own. Carry one person is not a crime. Carry one person alone is good. Makes you comfortable and ride better. And tell them, okay, this specific road, they are express, they are not that, they are not needed. And when they are not needed, there are alternatives. You don't say that they are not needed and there are no alternatives. Between the gates to Mushin, there's serious traffic in the morning. People are going to work. The best is to take bike. Except you are not rushing. You are not giving the people alternative if you ban bike on that road. That means citizens are going to suffer when they are going to work in the morning. When the government is not thinking for the people, they will not do anything. They will just be tyrants. So, as the government that care about the people, if African National Congress comes to power, we are thinking about the people's welfare. Oh, we want to do this. We have security problem. Okay, let's think about the people's welfare. We sit down with them, we balance it. And we are thinking about providing alternatives before bringing out laws. Alternative of employment, an alternative of road infrastructures. So alternative are not provided, you just burn bike. Now if you go outside, you see people walking on those places. Your leg will be better than taking a bus. In some of those routes, there are not even buses to ply. And you ban the bike. What have you done? You have caused more problem for the citizens. So citizens are suffering, you don't care. What is the solution to bike riders accidents in Lagos? Give us a good road. In fact, in civilized society, there is a pathway for bikes and bicycles. Separate from cars. We don't have that. We don't. We have built houses in some place on island where they're not supposed to be houses. They have built houses there. Who sold the land is the government. They have built houses across the road, across the drainages. Because of money, because of capitalism. Sell everything. They just give us our money. Go and do whatever you want to do there. These roads are supposed to be for road users. And people are paying road worthiness monthly. And the roads are not worthy for usage. So for us, you have to make sure road infrastructures is perfectly done and target the localities. All the bridges from Yanokwaja to Ikeja is a waste of resources. How many people climb those bridges? How many? You go there, the money you see people jogging, that's all. Because bridges is what Nigeria need. Nigeria want to go do zebra crossing on some of these roads and make them pilotable and do proper bus stops. That's what they need, so that cars that are coming can park properly, to drop their passengers and all. But the bridges everywhere. So the roads, the local roads, then for security. When I know you, and I know you are the one, it's very difficult for you to do something against me, because you know that you can be traced. Name tag, know all these people, know their houses. People should not be transporting people. In this Lagos as Ikeja, another bridge there, the Sienna will carry you and rob you. Sienna, right at the bus stop. So is the only bikemen that are stealing, is the only bikemen that are robbing? It's everywhere. Criminals, with downfall, people will rob you with downfall. So the insecurity goes round, not just bike alone, and the government is not ready to tackle it. So they are looking for fast alternative, just clear all this bike and all that. And this is the news flash. TINUBU tried it, it did not work, they came back. Everybody tried it did not work, they came back. Fashola tried it did not work, they came back. This government will try it will not work. Because as long as people are hungry, they will go back to their business. In fact, you'll be surprised that the police officer that sees those bikes will now allocate it to their own boy to be giving them back money. So the solution is not banning and banning. The solution is sitting down with the people and knowing how do we solve their problem and create a database to identify these people. When a criminal that is a bike rider knows that he can be identified, he will stop the crime. That is it.